He was very judgmental, very mean, putting down folks. You have pastors abusing the money that gets donated to these churches, and they collect the money for themselves. They can buy cars and houses, but then don't do anything in the community. They don't do anything for the church that they're a part of. It's because of stuff like this that people just don't want to go anymore. I just think that with all this, like, people are really starting to shy away from the church. I can't stand when pastors say crazy stuff like this and then try to put it on God. Like, God told me and God said. God didn't tell you none of that. Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, and we're gonna be reacting to this video. I am on Twitter actually, and I pulled up this video that I saw of this pastor in Kansas City calling his congregation broke because I guess they didn't give enough donations to him or whatever the case may be. This is just sad, man. I feel like in the past month or so there have been a lot of videos that have come out from these pastors and these churches and just ridiculousness. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the church that got robbed. There's a lot of speculation around that because the robbery just did not seem real at all. Even the person that was in the back in the video didn't even seem phased at all about what was going on. Like, it just looked like a bunch of shenanigans. And then it came out that the pastor is living a super lavish lifestyle, but his church doesn't really reflect that, and just so many things coming out about these churches, and just a lot of the corruptness that goes on, a lot of the hypocrisy that goes on, and a lot of the judgment. That's why a lot of people don't go to church anymore, because there's just it just doesn't feel of God anymore. Like, there's just so much going on. You have pastors abusing the money that gets donated to these churches, and they collect the money for themselves. They can buy cars and houses, but then don't do anything in the community. They don't do anything for the church that they're a part of. You have pastors that are lying. You have pastors that are abusing people and sexually harassing people and children. Like, there's a lot of just bad stuff that goes on in the church. And not to say that things didn't go on back in the day or whatever the case may be, but I do think that with social media, it's bringing a lot of this stuff to light, and people don't mess with it. Like, people don't mess with it. So that's why you have a lot of people that are shying away from going to church and just shying away from religion altogether, because a lot of people are against organized religion. I'm not completely against organized religion because I identify as a Christian. And I'm not completely against like the idea of church, but church isn't really something that has garnered my attention as of late. As of the past couple of years, the past literally okay, the last time I went to church was actually earlier this year, but prior to earlier this year, it had been like a decade since I had been to church. But my friend had invited me. She told me that she really liked the church, and so I went, and it was actually pretty cool. It was like an hour service, which I'm not used to, because if y'all know how black churches go, you can be in there all day. But yeah, no, but yeah, like, just I remember the last time that I attended a church service, not the one from this year, but in years past. Just a lot of judgment from the pastor. Like, he was talking so much trash about like our generation, and just, yeah, I don't know, it just really turned me off. And so yeah, people are just, it's because of stuff like this that people just don't want to go anymore. But let's see what this Kansas City pastor said to his church.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me.
He said y'all are poor, broke, and busted. Is that what he said? And see, and this is also giving Kim Burrell. I don't know if y'all saw that when Kim Burrell was calling people ugly, and I think she called them broke too. Like, this is why people don't want to come to church, because you're judging people. Like, now people gotta have a bunch of money to come to your church. That's literally not what church is about. Turn this up.
I'm not worth your McDonald's money.
McDonald's.
I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John Nick. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it is not.
It's the person in the back for me. It's the person in the back being like, "Come on now, preach." Like, no, you should not be encouraging this behavior. Like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna go back some.
And I promise you, Deacon, it is not with respect and want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. Even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. See, that's how I know you still.
Okay. First of all, that person in the back that was ad-libbing, they need to be quiet. But no, so with him, I can't stand when pastors say crazy stuff like this and then try to put it on God. Like, God told me and God said. God didn't tell you none of that. God would never, because God is not a judging God, and he would not tell you to say stuff like this. Like, I get so like disgusted with stuff like this, and him saying like, "Oh, I'm not good enough for your McDonald's money. I'm not good enough for your Louis Vuitton money. I'm not good enough for your Red Lobster money," which is probably all the stuff that he does and all the stuff that he spends money on. But yeah, it's like, and look, I get it, right? Like, times are hard, right? Like, times are hard. People are struggling. Everyone is struggling financially, not just churches, not just, like everybody, like from the everyday working person to these big corporations, like everybody is struggling financially. And so, it's, maybe these churches are losing money because of inflation and everything that's going on, but that doesn't give you the right to judge people. I mean, people can give what they give, and also you should, like, yes, donate to your churches, but I wouldn't want to donate to a church that is ran by a pastor with these ideals and that talks like this and that judges people like this. And again, I don't know what he does with his money. I mean, this seems like a decent church. I mean, yeah, it could be a little bit more decorated, I guess. But also too, because you have to like watch to like what these pastors are doing with their money. Are they putting the money back into the churches? Are they putting the money back into the community? If I know that the money is being used in a holy way, then yeah, like I probably would feel more inclined, like as a churchgoer, if I was them, I would feel more inclined to possibly give more money. But you don't really know where that money is going. And then when you have these pastors, not specifically talking about him, but just in general, when you have these pastors showing up in designer clothes and expensive cars, like, you really start to wonder, where is your money going? Especially if you're sitting in a church that just seems kind of worn down, hasn't been updated in a while. Like, you really do wonder, okay, where is this money going? And so yeah, I just think that with all this, like, people are really starting to shy away from the church, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I do think it's unfortunate that people, because of stuff like this, people have chosen just to not even participate in religion altogether. But I am glad to see people who have kind of re-entered it, but like in their own way. And so no, they may not go to church, but they build their own relationship with God, and they do what they need to do, like in their own home, and stuff like that. And so, do what's best for you. I'm not pushing religion on anybody. If you don't believe in anything at all, that's completely fine. That is your right. We live in a country where, you have freedom of religion, which I feel like people tend to forget. a lot of the times, especially when making certain laws and stuff like that, that everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe. Um, but yeah, I think this was just so just entitled, rude, just like I and just people begging for money, like in general, right? Like again, if the church was actually struggling and he was actually struggling, I could maybe understand like encouraging more donations, but not in the way that he did it. He went about it in the completely wrong way. He was very judgmental, very mean, putting down folks that spend their money the way that they want to spend their money because it's their money to spend, not yours. Um, and so yeah, I think it's just really unfortunate when people do that. Like it's just not necessary. And I just when people beg for money in general, it's just sad. Like I remember watching a video not too long ago where it was like a compilation of streamers who were asking their followers for money, and it was kind of within the same context of like, oh, you spend money on this, you spend money on that. There's no way you can tell me that you don't have $5 to spend on me this month. And it's like, who are you to tell somebody what they got, what they can afford? You have no idea what people's expenses look like. Yes, from a very, very surface level perspective, $5 doesn't seem like that much money. But people are struggling out here. People are working and paying for things paycheck to paycheck. Like some people just don't have that wiggle room. Some people really don't have $5 to spend on you specifically, and to judge people and to shame people for that. I just think is ridiculous. Um but yeah, I think that's all I have to say on this. Oh, wait, actually he came up with an apology video. So we're actually going to check that out. All right, I'm sorry for the weird sizing. That's just how it is on this video, but we have the pastor's apology. Which honestly, I mean, this is rare too, like cuz I rarely see pastors really apologize like that unless it has something to do with like cheating or something like that. But yeah, we're going to see what the pastor has to say for himself.
Evening. My name is Carlton Funderburg. I'm the senior pastor of Church of the Well, right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I want to take this moment to address the now viral video clip of me from a sermon given.
And that's the thing.
A sincere apology to you today.
I feel like he's only apologizing because the clip went viral. I feel like if not a lot of people saw this, he probably wouldn't have done this.
August the sincere apology to you today. No context could erase the words I used. I apologize to all who have been hurt, angered, or in any way damaged by my words. My actions and my words are inexcusable. I offer no justification or defense. That moment was mishandled and mismanaged. I deeply regret this moment, and I solicit your prayers. See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me.
I love the lead-ins, what he said after that. I guess. I mean, I guess that was an apology. I don't know. I don't think I don't think that the issue, I mean, yes, he probably did offend some people by saying that. So sure, apologize for that, but also recognize why what you said was wrong and why you shouldn't have said that. Like I don't think that was addressed at all. Like I don't know. I didn't really get that he was really remorseful or that he had any type of self-reflection from that. I felt like he just was trying to please the public and not get too much bad backlash from his church. And I wonder too if the amount of people who usually show up to his church, I wonder if that has declined at all since this sermon. I'm really curious to know. It is in Kansas City, so I don't know how many churches are in Kansas City, especially black churches in Kansas City. But yeah, I don't know. But let me know what you guys thoughts are in the comments down below about the situation. I mean, he was wrong. There really is no other way to look at this. Like, he was wrong. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are about what he said in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.